Here you go, bud. Back to your TV. That is so cool. Good morning, everybody. It's the next day of the trip, and we are actually headed to South Carolina today to explore a part of the state that I've only ever been to in the winter. I really want to get out there and look for some snakes, and Dad does too. He's been here, but it's been a long time. So yeah, looking forward to exploring new parts of South Carolina today. We're going to stop and, look into any kind of flip spots we see along the way. And once we get to the area we're going to be visiting, we're going to be doing a lot of back road driving and hiking through habitat. So let's get to it. That one looks like it might have a dry spot.
Snake right there.
Oh, it's an Amphibian. Very nice. The Amphibian flip. Well, that's a cool start to our time in South Carolina. A two-toed Amphibian under a board on the side of the road. A little guy. Oh, he's got a hole right there. Very cool. These guys are super slippery and hard to hold, but very, very cool little salamander. Not very little, actually. All right, we have our first really cool find of the day here. This is a spotted turtle that we just rescued out of the road. He doesn't appear to have any desire to come out of his shell. I'm assuming because he's almost been run over 300 times this morning on this busy road. Hopefully we will see more of them that are actually willing to come out of their shell, because this guy is pretty traumatized, I think, from trying to cross this road. So the important thing is we got him across alive. Hopefully he will not try to go back the other direction and kill himself. But very, very cool turtle. Something that I always want to see when I'm in their range. All right, just got into our first couple of snakes of the day at this creek crossing here. I flipped this little rough earth snake under a rock. I think that is probably the first one of those I've ever seen in South Carolina. Very nice. Not as red as the one we saw in Houston a couple days ago. Still a kind of obscure species we don't see terribly often on the channel. I'll let him go. Oh, and also a racer that ducked away into the rocks. So I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty of racers as usual. All right, here's a little pine woods tree frog. I just spotted this guy hopping around in the burnt part of the pine forest. I brought him over to this pond just to rinse him off because he was covered in ash, but cute little dude. Let him go right here since it's probably better habitat than where he was hopping around. Well, conditions today aren't the best. It's very sunny and very windy. But we are in a nice recent burn, so I'm hoping that that will at least allow us to see any snakes that are out on the surface. But you can see it's still kind of heavily vegetated here in this particular area. But we'll see. We kind of got here in the middle of the day, so really this afternoon and tomorrow morning I think are going to be our best chances at seeing something cool. There's a racer down in a stump hole. Barely see him in there. All right, just moved our second turtle of the day out of the road. It's this very algae covered, what I think is an eastern mud turtle. He doesn't want to come out of his shell, but I'm just gonna leave him in the ditch right here. I don't know what it is with the turtles here being super shy. All right, Dad finally found a really good snake today. We finally have our highlight target snake of the day. Bam, look at that. That is a gorgeous Scarlet king snake, holy crap. That is incredible. Let me get some photos real quick. You serious, dude? He has really got me. I think this is actually my first Scarlet King from South Carolina, unless I'm just forgetting one, which I don't think I am. Can you let go? This is the longest I have ever had a Scarlet King. He's actually like chewing on me too. What on earth? Do I smell like lizard or something? Well, these guys are a lot more common in the coastal plain than they are where we usually look for them in North Georgia, but always such a beautiful snake to see. And really, I was expecting to see one of these a lot faster today, and it took us most of the day to find one, so we'll let this guy go and keep moving. But beautiful Scarlet king snake. I believe this is my first from South Carolina. Really cool. All right, little dude, here you go. Don't bite me again. Go into the tree. There you go. All right, there we go. Once again, don't mind the gunfire, but beautiful Scarlet King number 2. This one's an adult. Got some really odd coloration on this one. He's actually a little bit orange in the bands, and then kind of creamy yellow in the white bands. Not what I was expecting after that first one. The gunfire going on out here is just unhinged. All right, we'll let this guy go. Very nice, number 2. Love to see it. All right, guys, we just pulled up to eat dinner at this restaurant. There were some rocks by the water, and I turned over this little tarp right here, and there was a brown water snake. Kind of surprised it took us this long to find a Nerodia today, but I mean, at least it happened. Smell like poo-poo going into the restaurant now, but that's nothing new. We'll let him go and eat dinner and call it a day. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little snakier than today was. Wasn't a bad day by any means, but we had to work for it. So I'm going to release the brown water snake, and right here next to where it was is a rainbow. I mean, what on earth? What even is that? That is so sick. Well, it's actively getting dark on us. This thing is in shed and has some weird nose rub from, I guess, living in an oyster bed. But rainbow snake, I mean, that definitely makes the day if it wasn't made already. And it's one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. It's in shed. But, I mean, you can see how yellow that thing's chin is. That would be such a gorgeous rainbow out of shed. That's nuts. Definitely one of the biggest ones I've found, too. It's crazy how much easier these things are in the Atlantic drainages than they are in the Gulf. Like I had just said to Dad, maybe we could find a rainbow before or after dinner, and he was like, yeah, we'll go look around after dinner. We didn't even have to eat dinner. We just had to look in the rocks right beside this restaurant. There he is. All right, well, I'll let this guy go. I mean, I feel pretty confident, seeing as we found this thing on our way to eat dinner, that we could probably find another one if we really put our mind to it, maybe tomorrow or even after dinner tonight. But that is really cool. First rainbow snake we've seen on the channel in a while, mostly as a result of not really looking for them, but still such an awesome snake, and I really hope we can get one that's out of shed on this trip, because they are really one of the most special and beautiful snakes we have here in the US. Let me show you that belly one more time. And like, all of this color would just be so much more vibrant if this thing was freshly shed. But still, you'll love to see it. We'll let him go back into his rock pile. All right, back to your oyster bed. There you go, dude. So cool. Really, really hope we can find one that's freshly shed. I don't even know if this thing has a hole under here. I'm assuming it does, because it was coming out from under this thing. Go on. There we go. What a way to end the day. All right, we just ate dinner and I came back out here to see if we could find another rainbow snake. And I think this is that same one, just poking around right here. What are you doing, dude? Look at him. I really don't know what this thing's doing. He's doing kind of the same thing he was doing when we came out earlier. Just hanging half out from under this piece of concrete. Really cool. I want to find one that's not going into shed. Oh, sorry, dude. Didn't mean to scare you. It's actually so cool how unbothered by me this thing is. He's just sitting here doing his own thing, kind of ignoring me. But this makes me feel good that we might can find another one tonight that's not kind of going into shed. So we're gonna keep looking. Very, very cool. Here's a rainbow snake food right here. This is an American eel. It's supposedly the main diet of rainbow snakes, really thought to be the only thing they eat. All right, guys, here's our first new snake after dark. This is a nice little banded water snake. He was just crawling around right here by the edge of the water in these rocks. Really pretty looking little guy. This is probably gonna be our last stop for the night though. If we don't see any more rainbows here, we will probably call it a day. I don't wanna get too greedy. It's been such a great day already. All right, Dad just spotted rainbow number 2. Look at that. He is very, very deep in shed. Not what we were looking for, but I mean, double rainbow. You can't complain about double rainbows at new spots. I mean, that is just awesome. Maybe we can get the hat trick, and maybe the third will be freshly shed. We'll see. When these things are deep in shed, they get really, really rough looking. This guy's probably got some fungal stuff going on. But very, very blue looking snake. Really odd. I've never seen one this deep in shed before. It's really neat. Not as neat as a fresh shed shiny one, but still neat. Let's pull this rock off. Get a look at him. There we go. Nuts. Not gonna lie, this has me kind of wanting to spend tomorrow looking for rainbows, just because it's actually working. We found 2 rainbow snakes today easier than we found 2 Scarlet Kings, and that's not an exaggeration at all. It took us about 30 minutes to find the second rainbow after dinner once we set our minds to it. So cool though. Snakes are just basking at night. We got another brown water right there, and the tail of another one right there. Where's that third bow? All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for tonight, but I cannot complain about that double rainbow in an area that, I mean, I knew there were rainbows here, but we weren't really planning on looking for them this trip, and then we found the one at dinner. It's like, well, we might as well check a couple more spots, and sure enough, we got our second one, so very cool. We'll probably call it a night here and get up early in the morning to do this all again, so I will see you guys then. All right, everybody, it is the next morning, and we are out here bright and early, unlike yesterday where we had to kind of drive to this area. And it took us a good while, so by the time we started hiking yesterday, it was definitely a little warm, and hopefully we will not have that problem today. It's nice and cool this morning. It is going to get hot eventually, but I think we're going to have a couple hours of good hiking conditions before that happens, so hopefully we can turn up some snakes in habitat, and I will let you guys know what we see. All right, well, weirdly enough, our first snake of the day is on the road. It's a little garter snake. Look at this thing. He is super odd looking. We were heading to another area to walk some more, and I spotted this little guy in the road. Very cool. Man, that's a weird looking snake. Very neat though. Oop, we'll get him out of the road. Well, the critters are not making it easy today. I just spotted this mud turtle kind of swimming around in the shallows here. We decided to do a little bit of swamp walking since we've tried basically everything else this morning and it hasn't worked, so this has been the most productive thing we've done so far, other than finding that garter snake on the road. I don't know why. I mean, yesterday was kind of tough too, but we did see stuff. Today's just been, it's been pretty dead. He's a pretty cooperative mud turtle though. He's letting us get a good look at him. I'll release him here on camera. You can see him disappear into this black water. Oh, he went in the leaves. At last, a ribbon snake. All right, well, we got both the Thamnophis species that live in this area today. Very pretty little juvenile eastern ribbon snake. Kind of Thamnophis kind of day, I guess. Get some quick shots and let him go. Very pretty little guy. All right, we got another ribbon snake Dad just spotted. Kind of see him right there. Very nice. All right, we found a little bit of trash and Dad flipped up this TV, and look at that. Yes, very nice. All it takes is a little bit of junk. Gorgeous. What you got going on, dude? Is it both your eyes? No, just the one side.
It is chunky.
Yeah, it's very pretty too. Look at that. That is such a beautiful snake. As you can see, classic chain king snake. Not something we see terribly often in Georgia, really only in the eastern part of the state. And maybe kind of some of the northern central parts do you get this kind of chain look. Another cool thing about this guy, it's only my second ever South Carolina king snake, and it's my first that's not deep in shed. He does have that little bubble going on the other side of his face, but I'm sure that will shed out. This is just such a beautiful snake. All right, we'll return this guy to his TV and keep going through this junk, but very beautiful. Kind of chunky eastern king snake, not super long, but very thickly built. And of course, we love to see these nice thick chains. That is gorgeous. We'll put him back. Well, here it is, guys. Prime king snake habitat, apparently, in this part of South Carolina. Here you go, bud. Back to your TV. That is so cool. Oh, well, what do you know? Another king snake, this time of the Scarlet variety. Third one of the trip. Fourth one of the trip, actually. I forgot the one we got in Georgia. These things have been everywhere. Look at that long band. So cool. Beautiful as always. We'll put him back. We might be moving on to our next destination of the trip pretty soon, though. But it has been a good time in this area, that's for sure. Only 5 snakes today so far, but 2 of them have been Lampropeltis. Can't complain. What a little ripper. All the Scarlet Kings, except for the first one we've seen this trip, have been very freshly shed too, just looking absolutely fantastic. That is nuts. But what else can I say? These animals speak for themselves. We will let this guy go. Keep on moving. We spent the last couple of hours of our time in South Carolina cruising around in the Piedmont, where we found this cute little red-bellied snake, but otherwise there was not much moving. We had a really great time in South Carolina, but it was time to head back home to Georgia, where we had a really good day on the way home. But that will be featured in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.